If you
Okay.
tuned in late, we're doing this backwards because we wanted to have all the time we possibly could with Michael Easter, which we did, and so now we're going to pick up the loose ends at the end of the show. Go
Well,
ahead.
but they're not so loose. Let me just start with something that I really I've had a disagreement with Missy on about.
Uh-oh.
No. We're airing it out, okay? Over the weekend, and you got to
Wait,
take
I'm gonna
that
have
off
to get
the
rid of that.
stage.
Hold
Yeah,
on
you
a
have to
second
take them.
here.
You have to
Hold on.
take Heather and Ian off the stage. I
There we
called her
go.
dear. I don't know, but people have called me a lot worse, and
I see
there
that.
we
Wait a
go.
second. I think it's gone now, Missy. I think it's gone.
Okay, I can add
There
this.
you go.
Okay, this is a Halloween party. This is Julia Fox, a terrific actress, who went as Jackie Kennedy in the
Mm-hmm.
bloodstained suit when her husband was assassinated. Now, Missy thinks that I'm taking this maybe not well because she said she was trying to make a statement. That Jackie Kennedy made a statement that she wanted everyone to see what they did to Jack. I think that's a cover your ass statement afterwards. It's not a Halloween costume. This may be horror, but in my view, this is not a Halloween costume. And I've thought about this. Imagine seeing the family and knowing that somebody has come dressed as your mother, your grandmother, in the most tragic circumstances, and the first really assassination on TV that this country has seen. Okay, now we've gotten a little bit harder to this, but this was a horrible moment. It's a horrible moment in the courtroom, everybody, when a victim's clothes are brought up by the prosecution, for the family members that are in the courtroom. Let's remember that. It's a horrible moment whenever we see bloodstained clothes. Let's remember that, of somebody that's died. But here, I think it's a horrible moment. It's also in bad taste. What she
Yes,
doesn't do when
definitely
she
bad
says
taste.
when she doesn't do what she says when she's justifying this, or they're justifying this, is that what they don't have, because they said they're exact same bloodstains that are on her pantyhose, her stockings, and all. What they don't have is the brain matter that was all over that suit. What they don't have is the national tragedy of the whole United States mourning Jackie Kennedy. On that, she was whatever you think of the Kennedy family, this was truly a terrible thing. And what you don't have is the fact that she covered her husband's body with her body, getting a lot of that blood on that suit, getting that brain matter on that suit.
Yeah.
So
She
when you
crawled
want
out
to
of the
go,
car to get what had blown off of his head. It
right,
was resting on the trunk. I mean, think of any, as you were talking about this, I can't think of any victim of a horrific crime like this that you would ever dress up like.
no,
No,
I can't.
I just can't imagine it.
Yeah, and this is something that's seared in the consciousness of our country and for many people that were alive at the time. And also, her grandson tweeted about this. This is just
Mm.
not a joke. It is, we all can deal with morbid. We all can deal with crime. We can all deal with different things. We can all deal with heartbreak. But this, to me, is somebody needs to go back to school and maybe learn exactly what it's like. And maybe before you get dressed in that outfit, go onto somebody dead, find somebody's dead, see their brain matter, and have it smeared all over that suit. And then maybe you can come out and say you're dressed as Jackie Kennedy. So,
And who was that person again? I don't
Julia
know that person.
Fox.
I don't know her.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So that's that's a Linda rant, and yes, I do think that it's inappropriate. The next thing that I have is something I'd like to do real quickly because I want to counteract that, and it brings up the sadness that I actually have, and this is something that happened over the weekend, and it was covered by and don't just say in the New York Post just because it's the New York Post. It was covered. I heard it on TV early, and this was a 39-year-old man. We had serious storms here in New York last Thursday, right? He was 39. He died trying to rescue his dogs from a flooded basement. And what happened was he was in Brooklyn, and he had gotten out of the house. It flash flood into the house. He went, and he was fine. He was safe. But his dogs weren't. And so he went back into the basement to get his dogs where he drowned. And a scuba team had to take him out of the basement of his house. You can look at he rushed back to save his dogs. And quite frankly, I almost wanted to cry when I heard this. Nothing on the dogs. I assume they also drowned again. But I cried. But this is a person who deserves to be lauded, a person who deserves to be remembered. Okay. His name was not in the articles. If you find his name, I want to put it up on our website and all, but you can Google search it. It's just tragic. It's terrible. And I'd rather have somebody like this than somebody who mocks somebody, or they don't think they're, and they don't even think they're mocking.
Yeah, I'd dive in for my dog. I think most of us would.
Yep. Yeah. And then the third rip and read I have is something, Michael, I know you're going to want to talk about pretty well. And has to do with somebody who's maybe bad, not good, since we're doing bad versus good on this situation. And this has to do with, as you know, last week, Proctor's phone was protected after it was downloaded. But on the same day that report came out, Sergeant Good was apparently suspended, as Sean Good, from the Canton Police Department. First, the Canton Police Department would not try to, indicate that it was Sergeant Good. And today they issued a second statement that came out this afternoon. And they did say that it's Sergeant Sean Good who has been, and by the way, I see somebody putting, but let me get to Sean Good. Sergeant Sean Good has been suspended from his job at the Canton Police Department. He testified in the Karen Reed trial. He provided, if you recall, the leaf blower to blow the snow. He also said he found a piece of evidence that now is really suspect, right? And by the way, Canton, I know all of you will be happy. They said they take these very seriously, and they have hired somebody to do an independent administrative investigation into Sergeant Good, who, by the way, even though he is on leave, is being paid, unlike Kelsey Fitzsimmons, right? So I know we have sent a tweet out to directly, an X post out directly to the group that did investigate the Karen Reed response, right, in Canton PD, to see whether or not they will be doing the investigation here. Yeah. I know you're all waiting.
Oh, I'm sure. I trust it 100%. Whatever that investigation is, I'm all in. I'm sure it'll be done properly.
Yeah, and we did it as five. God bless you. 5S Intelligence. I asked them to confirm or deny whether they've been engaged by the town of Canton, because the press release didn't say who was, to perform an independent administrative investigation. The allegations of Sergeant Sean Good misconduct. If you have a contract, what is your fee for such contract and your assigned parameters? I haven't checked our X account today. Tonight while we've been on the show, but
let me look at that. I'm sure there's a few responses.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. And then I have to remove that. Missy, can you help me remove that from, because indeed I did see all of you did get the name of the tragic hero. And if we have that put up, we can put that up before we get to all of our we'll find that and put that up before we get to all of our donations and everything that occurred when Mike Easter was on the site. But I know you have your rip and reads, and then I'll go back.
I just got a couple, and I want to give a promo shout out to Richie at Microdots. Check out, he's just released, just before we went on the air, he released a Sean Good edition, I'll call it. So for those who don't remember Sean Good, it's not like Higgins or some of the other players where their image kind of pops into your head, but he does give you a reminder as to who this was and what the situation is, and how his testimony was entertaining in a bad way. So check that out, Microdots. Richie just put that out, like a little 10-minute special. So Sarah Boone, as you know, she continues to be very upset with her parade of attorneys. We've been trying. I sent a note. Her last reach out to us, again, Sarah Good, of course, the woman convicted in the death of her fiance, zipped him in a suitcase, wouldn't let him out when he screamed and yelled to do that. And he said, Sarah, and she said, that's my name, don't wear it out. We were down there in Orlando for that trial. So I've sent her a number of letters. The last one I sent was just last week, and it just says, I'm following up on my earlier request to interview you for Just to Serve TV. Again, was at your trial and would like to know how you're doing now. Thanks for considering our request. And then I sent her a post on X, because if you'll recall, when I labeled one of our segments, everybody hates Sarah Boone, she responded on X, not everybody. And so we bonded. So with that bond in mind, I'm hoping she'll take us up on a dinner
I think
date.
she goes into the bad part of our segment. I mean, she's one of the bad peoples.
She's
Yeah.
she's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more thing. Again, continuing my relationship with the clerk at the SJC full panel, single justice Dewar. Single justice Dewar. Did you? I did a short on this the other day. Maybe you didn't see it, but I was talking to my friend at the court, and I said, "Well, everybody's going to look at it, but Justice Dewar, right? The one who did the single justice."
Right.
And he said, "Well, it's not Dewar, it's Dewar." And I said, "Oh, you mean like the liquor?" and he said, "Yeah, that's right." He said, "I had to tell her that it's really not very good liquor." And I said, "Well, I hope it's not the same family, but this is really, and in the world of Scotch, this is rot gut. It's a blended Scotch. People who like Scotch like single malt, like Glenfiddich, etc., Laprogue. Anyway, so I had to get this. So if you see this on the expense report for next month, you'll know what the liquors were. Dewar's. So Dewar's has not been undone yet. There is nothing on the calendar for the full panel SJC for the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, and that goes through the end of the year. It's already kind of packed. They only do 3 days a month for oral argument. So one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to somehow try to shove this in with other things already on the calendar, or they're going to do it without oral argument, which of course was requested, as was the in-person hearing. So nothing new. I'll continue to be on these guys every day. So as soon as it happens, we'll pass it along.